The Trump administration's proposal to offer a gold card visa pathway to U.S. residency and eventual citizenship in exchange for a $5 million investment has sparked intense debate about its feasibility and market appeal. This article explores global wealth trends, the distribution of high net worth and ultra-high net worth individuals, and historical migration patterns under investor visa programs to estimate how many wealthy individuals might realistically opt for this ultra-premium scheme. By comparing this proposal with similar programs worldwide, we assess whether the lofty goal of selling 1 million gold cards is attainable or merely an optimistic target. I will now provide an overview of the global population of high net worth individuals, HNWIs, and ultra-high net worth individuals, UHNWIs, along with an estimate of how many might opt for Trump's proposed $5 million gold card visa. This analysis draws on data about global wealth, geographic distributions, historical investor visa trends, and comparisons with similar golden visa programs worldwide. Global wealthy populations, and Trump's $5 million gold card visa proposal. Global, HNWI and UHNWI numbers. The worldwide population of HNWIs, those with over $1 million in investable assets, was estimated to be around 22.8 million in 2023, holding roughly $86.8 trillion in wealth. This figure represents a 5.1% increase from the previous year, following a recovery from an earlier dip. The United States, for example, is home to approximately 7.43 million millionaires. Globally, North America leads with about 7.9 million HNWIs, followed by the Asia-Pacific region with roughly 7.4 million, and Europe with around 5.8 million. In comparison, regions such as the Middle East, Latin America, and Africa have smaller populations of millionaires. Ultra-high net worth individuals, defined as those with net assets over $30 million, form a much smaller, elite group. By the end of 2023, there were approximately 626,600 UHNW, as globally equating to nearly 70 new ultra-wealthy individuals per day. North America boasts the largest share, with significant growth also seen in the Middle East, while Europe's numbers grew more slowly and Latin America even experienced a decline. Geographic distribution and interest in U.S. investor visas. Wealth is concentrated in a few key regions that also serve as major sources of investor migrants. North America, for instance, not only has the largest number of HNWIs, roughly 35% of the world's millionaires, but is also a top destination for wealth. The Asia-Pacific region, particularly countries like China and India, has been a significant source of investor visa applicants for the United States. Historically, Chinese nationals have dominated U.S. investor visa programs. In the mid-2010s, they accounted for nearly 80% of the EB-5 visas issued, which have an annual cap of around 10,000 visas. Other countries with strong demand include India, Vietnam, South Korea, and Brazil. Outside of Asia, wealthy individuals from the Middle East and Russia have also pursued investor visas, although many opt for residency programs in Europe or the Caribbean. In regions like the Gulf states, a substantial number of HNWIs could meet a $5 million investment threshold, yet factors such as U.S. taxation on worldwide income might deter some from applying. Overall, Asia, especially China and India, and the Middle East appear to be the primary markets for any new high-investment U.S. visa program. Historical migration trends of wealthy individuals to the U.S. investment-based immigration to the United States has traditionally been limited. The EB-5 Immigrant Investor Program, introduced in 1990, has an annual cap of about 10,000 visas, with only roughly 3,000 of those allocated to primary investors, the remainder going to spouses and children. During its peak years, 2013 to 2018, the program was fully subscribed, driven largely by Chinese investors. However, in recent years, the number of wealthy individuals moving to the U.S. under such programs has declined dramatically. For example, net inflows of millionaire migrants dropped by about 80% during the COVID-19 pandemic, with only around 1,500 HNWIs relocating in 2022, compared to 6,400 to 10,800 per year during earlier years. Although 2023 saw a modest rebound, and projections for 2024 suggest around 3,500 net inflows, these figures remain modest relative to the overall pool of wealthy individuals. It is also important to note that many investor visa recipients use these programs more as a form of insurance, a foot in the door, rather than fully relocating to the United States. Often, wealthy individuals obtain residency for a spouse or children, while continuing to manage their business interests abroad, which further limits the overall number of applicants who commit fully to U.S. residency. Trump's proposed $5 million gold card visa. An overview. Former President Donald Trump's proposal for a gold card visa would require a $5 million investment, replacing the existing EB-5 program with a simpler, pay-to-play model. Under this proposal, a foreign national investing $5 million in US businesses would be granted residency, along with a pathway to citizenship, potentially after a period of residency. Unlike the EB-5 program, which requires applicants to create at least 10 jobs and has an annual cap, the Gold Card would eliminate such complexities. The high price tag of $5 million would make it one of the most expensive investor visa programs globally. While Trump has even floated the ambitious goal of selling up to 1 million of these cards, this target is seen by many experts as highly optimistic. Estimated uptake. How many might opt in? When estimating interest in a $5 million investor visa, both financial capacity and willingness to migrate must be considered. Globally, around 2.3 million people have net assets exceeding $5 million, although about one-third of these individuals are already US residents. This leaves roughly 1.5 million ultra-wealthy individuals abroad, who could theoretically afford the Gold Card. However, historical data indicates that even when the cost is much lower as seen with the EB-5 program, annual applicant numbers have been extremely limited. Some analyses have noted that not even 5,000 applicants per year have pursued the EB-5 visa when the investment was around $800,000. With the higher $5 million price point, the pool of willing applicants would shrink significantly. Experts believe that only a small fraction of the approximately 1.5 million eligible wealthy individuals abroad, perhaps 1–2%, would seriously consider such a program. This suggests a potential pool of roughly 10,000 to 20,000 candidates worldwide, with actual annual participation likely to be much lower, possibly on the order of a few hundred to a couple thousand applicants in the initial years. Regulatory and practical hurdles, such as the need for changes in US immigration law and the potential tax burden on global income, could further reduce participation. If the path to citizenship is perceived as uncertain or too lengthy, many potential applicants might opt for cheaper or less burdensome alternatives available in other countries. Lessons from other golden visa programs. Comparisons with similar investor visa schemes provide useful context. For example, Canada's now closed investor program admitted about 35,000 investors over 5 years, averaging roughly 7,000 per year. The United Kingdom's Tier 1 investor visa, which required a $2.5 million investment, saw around 1,100 approvals annually before it was suspended. Portugal's Golden Visa program, which has much lower investment thresholds, between approximately €280,000 and €500,000, has been far more popular, issuing thousands of visas annually. These examples illustrate that lower-cost, flexible programs tend to attract more applicants, whereas higher-price schemes, especially one as expensive as $5 million, would likely see much lower participation. Conclusion: globally, there are over 22 million millionaires and roughly 626,000 ultra-high net worth individuals, but only a small subset of these individuals have both the means and the motivation to invest $5 million for US residency and a path to citizenship. The highest concentrations of wealth are found in North America, Asia, and Europe, with historical data on US investor visas suggesting that even a modest program has attracted only a few thousand applicants per year. Given the extremely high investment threshold of $5 million, expert consensus is that the realistic uptake for Trump's proposed Gold Card visa would likely be modest, potentially a few thousand applicants globally over several years, rather than the 1 million suggested by the administration. Without adjustments, such as a lower investment threshold or additional incentives, the program's scale is expected to remain limited, appealing only to a very small fraction of the eligible wealthy population.